Hi, my name is Corrie, and I'm reading to you from Corrie ten Boom's book, The Hiding Place. We are in chapter 12, Vucht. Get your things together. Get ready to evacuate. Collect all possessions in pillowcases. The shouts of the guards echoed up and down the long corridor. I stood in the center of my cell, in a frenzy of excitement. Evacuate? Then something was happening. We were leaving the prison. The counter-invasion must have begun. I snatched the pillowcase from the little wad of straw I had stuffed into it. What riches this coarse bit of muslin had been in the 2 weeks since it had been provided. A shield for my head from the scratch and smell of the bedding. It almost didn't matter that the promised sheets had never arrived. With trembling hands, I dropped my few belongings into it. The blue sweater, the pajamas, covered now back and front with embroidered figures, toothbrush, comb, and a few remaining crackers wrapped in toilet paper. My Bible was in its pouch, on my back, where it remained, except when I was reading it. I put on my coat and hat and stood at the iron door, clutching the pillowcase in both hands. It was still early in the morning. The tin breakfast plate had not yet been removed from the shelf in the door. Getting ready had taken no time at all. An hour passed. I sat on the cot. 2 hours. 3. It was warm in the cell this late June day. I took off my hat and coat and folded them next to me on the cot. More time passed. I kept my eyes on the ant-hole, hoping for a last visit from my small friends, but they did not appear. Probably I had frightened them by my early dashing about. I reached into the pillowcase, took one of the crackers and crumbled it about the little crack. No ants. They were staying safely hidden. And suddenly I realized that this too was a message, a last wordless communication among neighbors. For I too had a hiding place when things were bad. Jesus was the place, the rock cleft for me. I pressed a finger on the tiny crevice. The afternoon sun appeared on the wall and moved slowly across the cell. And then, all at once, there was a clanging out in the corridor. Doors scraped, bolts banged. Out! Snel! All out! No talking! I snatched up my hat and coat. My door screeched open. Form ranks of 5! The guard was already at the next cell. I stepped out into the hall. It was jammed from wall to wall. I had never dreamed so many women occupied this corridor. We exchanged looks. Invasion, we mouthed silently, the soundless words sweeping through the massed women like an electric charge. Surely the invasion of Holland had begun. Why else would they be emptying the prison? Where would we be taken? Where were we headed? Not into Germany. Dear Jesus, not into Germany. The command was given, and we shuffled forward down the long, chilly halls, each carrying a pillowcase, with her belongings forming a little bulge at the bottom. At last, we emerged into the wide country yard inside the front gate of the prison, and another long wait began. But this wait was pleasant in the late afternoon sun, with the late afternoon sun on our backs. Far to the right, I could see the columns of the men's section, but crane my neck though I would, I could not see Betsy anywhere. At last, the huge gate swung in and a convoy of grey transport buses drove through. I was herded aboard the third one. The seats had been removed, the windows